Good morning again from Soho. I feel like I've been here a lot lately, which is weird because I used to come here every day. But I'm meeting up with Sam from Style by Samantha. You guys will probably see her in a few minutes. I'm just looking for her. We're meeting on the corner of Prince and Broadway because I thought I was gonna take the RW. Ended up taking the 6, so I'm just walking from Bleecker. And yeah, we're just gonna shoot some pics together and yeah, see her and catch up because I haven't seen her in like a month maybe. Yeah. All right, just reviewing some pics. How do they look?
They look good. Austen is great.
Aw, too sweet. So we're here on Mercer Street, just taking some pics. Yeah, so we're just shooting by the And Other Stories store here in Soho. How are you?
I'm good.
You have a busy day today. What are you up to?
I do have a busy day. So I took a half day off of work to do some fun events. So I'm excited. So going to, obviously, to be part of this like jewelry focus group.
Ooh.
Then going to a Natural Brazil holiday lunch.
Oh.
Working, and then going to an Avino event tonight.
Literally, bloggers never sleep during December.
No.
Like if you're wondering how and when we sleep, we just do not.
No.
Nope, not at all.
We can sleep when we're done.
Yeah. Hey guys, so back in Brooklyn again, because surprise, this is the theme of Vlogmas. Something didn't go according to plan, so you probably saw a nice pan footage of my little latte at Cha-Cha Matcha in the store, and well, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know, but that peace and quiet did not last for very long. Basically this man like came into the store and was doing card tricks, and like the way he got into the store was that he somersaulted into the store. He like crawled under my chair at one point, which was absolutely ridiculous. He was throwing his cards around, and like the employees like did not do anything to stop him. I was trying to put up with it and just ignore it. I feel like that's the New York kind of response to that. And I couldn't do it. I left after like maybe 40 minutes max of it. Like I was just trying to do little things like reply to Instagram comments or like edit photos, and I couldn't even focus on that. Never mind my actual thing that I need to focus on, which is my story for Fashionista that's due next week. So anyway, that was really annoying. It was definitely a waste of time, a waste of money, and it kind of got me thinking like that I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about like some of the realities of being a freelancer and like the struggles. I mean, this is obviously a very rare instance, but like more generally speaking, the fact that you don't have a consistent workspace or office, or at least I don't. I mean, ideally like one day in whatever apartment I move into next, or like maybe the one after that, it would be really amazing to even just have a desk to sit at and work. Like it sounds like such a luxury to me because it kind of is. Like, you know, here in our apartment we've got the kitchen table and stuff, which I sit at a lot. I'm sitting on the couch right now. I'm productive here sometimes, but I don't have a desk in my room. There's just not room for one right now. So even having that, I feel like just as a backup to all of your other backups, I feel like is really kind of a luxury when you're a freelancer. I was working out of the WeWork offices for a while. Sam Siska, who runs Social Sunday, is a member at the Wing, so sometimes I'm able to join her there, but I think I might need to like figure out some kind of other plan of a more consistent office space for myself, or at least some kind of setup that I know like I can always fall back on if, say, I go to Cha-Cha Matcha to do work and there's like a man running around and like throwing cards at people. So yeah, that's just kind of one thing that I feel like, you know, I do say all the time that I love working out of coffee shops, and it's true. I'll link down below an article that I wrote about some of the best coffee shops for freelancers to work out of, like ones that have outlets, bathrooms, fast Wi-Fi, all of the essentials, because you'd be actually surprised how many coffee shops don't have a lot of those things, and you want to know before you go and sit down and plant yourself there and to do work for a long time, because like you don't have an office, and if you go to 3 coffee shops and they're all full, like you probably just spent 15 minutes doing that you could have been doing something else. And I hate the thought of wasting time, and I also hate that this put me in like a bad mindset. So I'm just trying to like right now take what happened and just turn it into something positive and useful, which is hopefully sharing a little more insight into some of the like things to consider as a freelancer with you guys. Another thing that I want to talk about, if you are thinking about maybe becoming a freelancer or you want to quit your full-time job and do your own thing, a big thing to consider is insurance. I'm actually starting right now to look into possible insurance options for when I turn 26 and I'm off my parents, because that is a huge relief for me right now that I don't have to think about that. But I know that for a lot of people that's not the case, or maybe they're not on their parents or just don't have the option, or they are older than 26 and need to figure it out for themselves. So I'm gonna like do a little bit of outreach. If you actually know of any insurance companies that are good for independent workers, please leave them in the comments down below. Like, I would love to kind of start to crowdsource this and hear what other people are doing, so that by the time I turn 26, I kind of have a better idea of what I might be looking for. Also, in case anyone else like among you guys are wondering too, I would love to be able to recommend some options for you to look into. And then I've talked about this before in a blog post, but obviously like one of the big things about freelancing is you don't exactly know where your next paycheck is going to be coming from. So it's really up to you to like go out and find every single dollar that you're gonna earn for yourself. That can be through companies like Upwork, if you're looking for kind of more sporadic jobs or one-off jobs, things like that if you're a writer. So it's really important before you go freelance to kind of have connections in the space that you want to be into, if that makes sense. So for me as like a writer, editor, and then also blogger, it's really helpful for me to have connections at different publications, like some of the ones I've written for in the past few months, like Refinery 29, the Zoe Report, Bustle, Insider. Even if you don't have a connection but someone you know does, like see if they'll be willing to introduce you via email. My friend Kristen has done that for me before, to Teen Vogue editors and Allure editors, and then my friend Sarah, who used to be my intern at Nylon, was the one who introduced me to the Insider Writers Network, and all of that, and I've done the same for other people as well. So even if there's somewhere you want to write for and you don't have a connection, find someone who does and get an intro, because that will always be better than like cold emailing someone. I would also recommend, if you're thinking about going freelance, to have some money saved up beforehand. If you're planning right now to leave your full-time job, this is your chance to really start saving your money. In my situation, since I got laid off, I didn't exactly know when that was gonna happen. I had a feeling it was gonna happen because that's a story for another day. But yeah, like just to be able to have some money set aside for your peace of mind. Like I did have a little bit of money set aside when Interview folded because of what happened to me at Nylon, but it was in no way the amount that I would have wanted to have if I had known I was gonna like start doing this full time. So definitely something to keep in mind, like save your money, know your people, and just because you're giving up a consistent salary from one company doesn't mean you have to give up consistent paychecks. Like a lot of the work that I've been doing, even though a lot of it kind of is slowing down in December because companies are waiting for their budgets to reset in January, if you can find a place that is willing to assign you like 3 articles a week or like 2 articles a month, like those little things all add up, and any like monthly or weekly assignments that you might have is still consistent income for you, and that's a lot easier and more streamlined than going out and doing 1 article for this person and 1 article for that person and 1 random copywriting thing for this person and then 1 thing over there. Like it's nice to have a couple of more consistent assignments and projects. So for me, those are like Social Sunday, so I'm their blog editor and I have a monthly rate for editing their blog each month. And then Roller Rabbit, that I do copywriting for, they usually have a new batch of descriptions every month or every 3 weeks, so that I know I'm gonna be expecting that work will be coming in. They're usually pretty good about giving me the heads up, so I'll have time to make sure I can work on it on top of other like more one-off assignments that I'm taking on. And then also just like expecting that you will not get paid on time. There are a couple of publications that I've had to follow up with on a few occasions saying, hey, checking in on this invoice. It's really helpful. Always try to have a contract with whoever you're working with. There are a few publications that I work for that give you contracts that say like you will be paid on a net 30 basis or a net 45 basis, so like 40 days after your article is published. And just so you know, if you don't have a contract with someone and you look into Freelancers Union, they actually have a thing where you can fill out a form, like a complaint against the company, and unless they gave you a contract that says like we will pay you on like a net 60 basis, they technically owe you that money in 30 days unless it's been stated somewhere else. So you can file a claim with Freelancers Union and they will actually like front you the money basically. basically, and then they focus on the collections and getting that company to pay you back out. So I'll leave their website down below in case you want to check it out. Shout out to Erin Marie Miller, my photographer friend in Los Angeles, for recommending that to me because I was complaining about an overdue invoice from September. Even if you think you're gonna get paid on one day, expect to be paid at least like a week or two after that. Money doesn't come in as regularly as it did when you were working full-time, so it's just something to keep in mind. Again, like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, and again, it's really helpful to have money saved up before you kind of take that plunge. I also talked about this a little bit on my Instagram stories because I did one of those Q&As for the first time in a really long time, and someone asked me to do the pros and cons in freelance life, which is kind of what sparked my idea to continue talking about some of the downsides on this video. But a big one is loneliness too. Like, you know, I'm home alone right now, and this is where I am a lot of days, except for days when I try to leave and work in a coffee shop. But I remember there was a 48-hour period, it must have been like 2 months ago or something, where I was here, Andrew was like busy, Nikki and Alyssa were both not, like, I think Nikki might have been on vacation, and then Alyssa was somewhere else, and then it was 48 hours, I realized, before I saw in person someone that I knew. Like, I had texted a couple of people or like replied to people on Instagram stories, and then I had gone to a coffee shop and like gotten a coffee from whoever the barista was, but that I hadn't seen anyone in 48 hours who I knew. I got so freaked out by that because I love being able to see my friends. Like, I love getting together with Andrew. I love seeing my roommates, and it really freaked me out that like 48 hours had gone by and I hadn't seen anyone I knew, which part of that is why I like going to coffee shops and at least just like being around other people, even if, you know, most of your friends work during the day and you can't like hang out with them on a Monday afternoon, unless you're like on an episode of Friends. They never went to work, did they? So yeah, that's kind of just something else to keep in mind. That's one of the reasons I like going to coffee shops too, is to get out of the apartment and just put myself in kind of that, not exactly social situation, but just situation where there are other humans around, I think is really important. And I think it's something that, you know, you don't always get to talk about as an entrepreneur too, because there's so much like, oh, solopreneurship, like, oh, you can just pack a backpack and go work from anywhere. But like, I have friends here and I have family and like roots here, and yeah, it's not always so fun to like do all of this by yourself, but I do enjoy it like 99% of the time. It's just remembering that I can also ask for help, and I can tell people when I'm feeling lonely or uncomfortable or just like in a rut even, and that's all okay. Anyway, I hope that kind of just gave you a general sense. I don't mean to be so negative right now. I'm trying to channel the annoying thing that happened to me earlier into something productive. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Maybe just a bit of a reality check of, you know, if you see any of your friends who are freelancing, you're like, oh, that must be so great. Like, it is, and then it also isn't. Like, any job, there are good things and bad things that come along with it. These are just a couple of the things that I think the more you think about them and the more aware of them you are, the more helpful it'll be later on as you continue building like a freelance career. So not to scare you or anything, but I just wanted to bring up some of these things because I feel like we don't always get to talk about them more, even though more and more people are going freelance these days. It's still kind of a new area that people are working around, especially in terms of blogging and like the influencer sphere too. There's a lot of unanswered questions and things that we are still all learning together. So I just figured the more we could open up this conversation, the better. If you'd like to see more videos about this kind of topic, like freelance career life too, I would love to do some of them probably in January in a more sit-down format where I can have a little bit more coherent plan for what I would like to talk about in these kind of videos. But in the meantime, thank you for listening, listening to me kind of process all of this out loud. It's always nice to feel like I don't have to do this alone. And please keep the conversation going in the comments. I always love to chat with you guys further down there and let me know your thoughts. You guys can also always DM me on Instagram. I'm pretty responsive on there as well. If there's ever anything you're curious about or want to hear more about. I've watched a couple of Vlogmas videos just to kind of reset myself. I think I'm going to attempt to get back into a little bit of work, so I will see you guys on the other side. All right, so ended up having kind of a more chill afternoon than I was planning on. This is my room, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit. not 100%, but made basically enough progress that I am happy with. So I'm supposed to meet my old interview coworkers here in Brooklyn at 8, but I'm like literally starving right now, so I'm just heating up a tiny bit of pasta for myself. So I just did a few small makeup touch-ups, just some concealer and then my highlight again, and I'm ready to head out. I honestly like didn't want to go, well, that's not true. I didn't want to leave because it's cold and like today was weird, honestly. And I'm just feeling a little bit off, but I'm gonna head over there now and I'm just gonna know that I'm treating myself to a lift home. So like whenever I want to leave, I don't have to deal with the cold or any of that. And yeah, I'm gonna head over there now. Just made it to Wheelhouse. We are well into our wine situation. This is my interview fam, former interview fam. Ezra's.
I want to get a video of you doing Vlogmas.
Okay, he's gonna get a video of me doing Vlogmas. That's what's happening right now. What do you have to say to the people?
Merry Christmas, Merry Vlogmas.
Trey Jane, how are you?
I just want to say that anything that you want to set your mind to, you can achieve. Listen to Austen, she knows everything that's going on, and you'll be fine.
Jane, wanna take control?
Not really.
So, we all worked at Interview Magazine with Austen. Hello. But we just want to say, if you are an aspiring writer looking for some kind of advice on how to break through and get your story out there, keep sending ideas. Don't ever stop. Sometimes I honestly commission people who were just bothersome and annoying enough to get in my inbox enough that I would be like, the only way to get you out of my inbox is to commission you, and that's what I did, and it can work for you. What do you think, Ezra?
And I want to say, never be afraid to use yourself for content. Go into Cha-Cha Matcha, do a somersault. You need a user engagement, buy followers, get up in a celebrity's face, give them your mixtape. These are all things you need to do in this economy. Don't ever be afraid to make a scene.
So don't forget to follow us. I'm at Trey Tyler.
At Heteroswan, H-E-T-E-R.
Click the link below.
W-A-N. Click the link below, follow.
And I'm Ezra Mark. That's Ezra Mark. Subscribe, follow, shout me out. We can do this engage or engage or whatever.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit down there.
Like,
for related videos.
And a shout out for my girlfriend, Connor Stankard. Connor on Instagram.
Yeah.
Can you spell that though? Isn't there like an underscore?
C-O-N-N-O-R on Instagram.
I've created so many monsters.
Wait, do you guys know how to calculate your engagement, by the way?
Oh, that's a good, actually, that's good tip.
If you want to know how to calculate your engagement.
Austen taught us this right now, today.
Right here, right now. I'm not quoting High School Musical, that's just a thing I said. Oh, they just turned up the copyrighted music, so I'm gonna end this here. Back in Brooklyn again. Not back in Brooklyn, back in Williamsburg. I was in Bushwick. And yeah, we had such a fun night catching up and everything. It's always good to get together and see everyone, and now I'm going to watch probably one Vlogmas video. I'm still trying to catch up with everyone who I'm watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog today. I know it was a bit more of a reality check style of vlog rather than like a fun, like, come to events with me and like do this like exciting fun thing with me. But I feel like that's kind of what Vlogmas is for. That's how life is. And yeah, if you have any questions though, or want to talk about anything in the comments, you know what to do. Leave me a message down there. Also, don't forget, hashtag Merry Austimus, enter the giveaways. I actually need to pick a new winner. Oh, it's today, isn't it? Let's do that really quickly. Hey, Jessica Vanek, you are my next winner of the Vlogmas giveaway. I will be DMing you on Instagram to confirm everything. And yeah, I think that is just about everything. So have a great rest of your night, you guys, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.